There was a time in my life when English felt like a locked door, and I was standing outside without the key. I understood people when they spoke. I understood movies. I understood songs. But when it came to opening my mouth, nothing happened. I froze. My thoughts became heavy. My tongue refused to move. My mind kept saying, "You know this," but my voice could not produce the words. And every time I struggled, I felt smaller and weaker inside, as if English was something made for everyone else except me. If you feel that too, if you understand English but cannot speak, it is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that your English lives inside your mind, but not yet inside your mouth. And the good news is this: mouth fluency can be built, even at home, even alone. My entire journey changed the day I realized something powerful. English is not a subject. English is a daily habit. It is not something you study once a week. It is something you live with every single day. I wasted years memorizing grammar rules, copying notes, reading textbooks, and listening silently. But silence never trained my voice. I kept waiting for some magical moment, a sign, a perfect environment, a perfect partner to practice with, but those things never came. What came instead was a simple truth. You become fluent by speaking, not by studying. And that truth created the daily home practice that changed my English forever. It began with something extremely simple: talking to myself. Yes, talking to myself. The first time I looked into the mirror and said, "Good morning," I felt foolish. My voice trembled. My confidence shook. But something inside me whispered, "Keep going." So I kept going. Every morning I stood in front of the mirror and spoke. If I didn't know what to say, I described how I felt. I am excited today. I feel nervous. I want to speak better English. These sentences were not perfect, but they were mine, and they were the beginning of a new version of me. When you speak to yourself every day, your brain and your tongue begin to work together. And fluency is nothing but this cooperation, thoughts becoming sound without hesitation. The second part of my daily practice was something incredibly powerful: describing my surroundings. Wherever I went, whatever I saw, I said it in English. When I entered my room, I whispered, "The light is on, the door is open, my bag is on the chair." When I cooked, I said, "I am washing the rice, I am chopping the onions, I am boiling the water." When I walked outside, I said, "The weather is nice, the road is empty, I am walking slowly." These small sentences taught my brain to think in English. This is the real secret thinking in English. Translation kills fluency. When your mind thinks in your native language and then converts it into English, you will always be slow. But when your brain starts naming objects and actions in English automatically, fluency becomes natural. The next life-changing technique I discovered was shadowing. I didn't know the name of this technique at first, but I did it every day. I played an English video, sometimes a motivational speech, sometimes a dialogue, sometimes a simple conversation, and I repeated each line like an echo. Not just the words, but the emotion, the pause, the rhythm. If the speaker said, "I believe you can do this," I repeated it in the same tone. If the speaker whispered, I whispered. If the speaker spoke fast, I tried to catch the speed. At first, I struggled, I missed words, I felt breathless. But after 1 week, something magical happened. My mouth began to copy English naturally. My pronunciation changed. My confidence grew. Shadowing taught me something grammar never did. English is music, and fluency comes from rhythm. Another important part of my home practice was vocabulary, but not the boring memorizing kind. I used to memorize 50 words a day and forgot 49 of them the next day. I felt like I was carrying a heavy bag of words that I could never use. So I changed my method. Instead of memorizing long lists, I learned only 5 or 10 useful words each day, words I could actually use in conversations. Words like improve, prefer, prepare, decide, although. I made real sentences with these words. I used them while speaking to myself. I used them while writing in my journal. I repeated them during the day. Vocabulary learned through use stays forever. And after 1 month, I realized I had learned more vocabulary than in the entire previous year. Reading also became a powerful part of my daily routine. Not long novels, not complicated articles, just simple English. A short story, a motivational paragraph, a small news summary. Reading showed me how sentences are built naturally. It taught me grammar without teaching me grammar. I didn't have to memorize 100 rules because my brain absorbed them automatically through reading. Reading also improved my imagination and expression. I found it easier to form sentences. I found it easier to explain ideas. Reading slowly shaped the architecture of my English. Every night before sleeping, I recorded a 1-minute audio diary. I spoke about something simple, my day, my thoughts, my goals, my feelings. When I listened to my recordings, I heard my mistakes, I heard my hesitation, I heard my progress. Listening to your own voice is uncomfortable, but it is one of the most powerful ways to grow. Your voice becomes your teacher. You begin to understand what sounds natural and what sounds forced. You begin to understand which words you need more practice with. The audio diary became my private mirror, reflecting my growth with honesty. But out of everything I practiced daily at home, there was one element that changed everything more than technique's courage. English was not difficult. My fear was, I feared judgment. I feared sounding childish. I feared mispronouncing something. I feared laughing at myself. And fear is the strongest prison. As long as fear controls you, fluency cannot grow. So I had to make a promise to myself. I will speak even if I make mistakes. I will speak even if I sound wrong. I will speak even if nobody understands me. That promise freed me. Each mistake I made became a teacher. Each struggle became progress. Each attempt made my voice stronger. Slowly, English stopped being a task. It became a lifestyle. I changed my phone language to English. I changed my apps to English. I watched videos in English. I listened to songs with English lyrics. I scribbled reminders in English. My environment became English. And the more English entered my environment, the more fluency entered my mind. 1 month of this home practice transformed me. 1 month of mirror speaking. 1 month of describing my world. 1 month of shadowing. 1 month of learning useful words. 1 month of reading. 1 month of journaling. 1 month of daily courage. And then one day while talking to someone, I noticed I wasn't translating anymore. I wasn't searching for words. I wasn't afraid. The sentences came. The flow came. The confidence came. I realized that fluency is not magic. It is the daily repetition of small actions. And those small actions grow into big results. And now, this can happen for you. You can build your fluency at home. You can train your voice without a teacher. You can transform your English without step-by-step grammar books. Everything you need is already with you, your voice, your thoughts, your commitment. Fluency is not given at birth. It is created through practice. Those who practice daily speak confidently. Those who remain silent stay stuck. So today, before this video ends, make a commitment to yourself. Start your practice tomorrow morning. Stand in front of the mirror. Speak loudly. Describe your world. Listen and repeat. Read something simple. Write something small. Record your progress. And above all, give yourself the courage to sound imperfect, because perfection is not the goal. Progress is. Your English is waiting to grow. Your fluency is waiting to be unlocked. Your voice is waiting to become powerful. And everything begins inside your home, inside your daily routine, inside your belief that you can do this.